Just give Poison Ivy her own book and make it about that. Just make it her going around the world trying to rectify the damages of global warming.
Now the question is she a hero, villain, or anti-hero?
I mean, that's what the book would deal with. You could write her in certain cases where she's being heroic. You could write her in certain cases where she's being villainous, but it all has to do with her protecting the Earth.
And that's an interesting question, because, like, she's taken on this weird role that I don't like. And she's, like, maybe just shy of Harley Quinn now, where she's not a villain anymore. She's kind of just this, like, slightly anti-hero-ish character. And I don't like that approach. I like the idea that she is someone who cares too much about an issue that it is very easy to care too much about. I like the idea that she is introduced as a moral problem for Batman. How do I deal with someone who does the wrong things for the best possible reasons? How do I deal with someone that is willing to murder people on a global scale in order to save the planet?
Punch her in the fucking face.
Right? Just kick her in the vagina a couple times.
That's partly why I think just giving her an ongoing might be interesting, because of all these weird, annoying tendencies to make villains heroes again, the two cases where I think it works the best are Poison Ivy and Magneto. Because Colin Bunn's Magneto ongoing, when that was happening, was a really good example of him being both a horrible human being and a great one at the same time. And I think you could do that with Poison Ivy, and I think if you even kept the scale a bit smaller, you could deal with issues that aren't readily available to characters like Batman or Superman. Like, you can't in a comic, in the way that happened in Superman 4, have Superman just go around and, like, steal everyone's nukes. That just wouldn't work within a Superman comic. But you can make it so that Poison Ivy goes around and starts destroying, like, nuclear testing sites around like, damaged forests and stuff. Like, the moral line that they're able to cross from a more villainous perspective makes the critique of the issue more whole, because we have this thing in superhero comics where, like, if you design the arbitrary moral line as superheroes don't do this, this, and this, and a lot of times you fail to talk about the issues through every avenue, and, like, you keep putting superheroes in impossible situations, and you keep contriving ways for them to get out of it, but if you just give it to the villain, then the villain can give you more nuance to that, so your heroes aren't corrupted, but the issue is still addressed.
Good point. Yeah, I could see her doing that. I could see her getting her own series where she's doing stuff like that. That'd be really interesting, and it'd just be like you could at no point have her very clearly be evil or very clearly be good, right? Like, she should. I think basically every issue should end with her killing someone but saving, a forest. I guess it's the weirdest way to put that, but, like, every issue, like, the first issue would, in my mind, of that series then, would end with her, like, murdering a bunch of loggers in order to stop the destruction of an endangered forest.
Yeah.
And that would be the perfect tone for that, is, well, we don't have an answer for whether or not this was the right thing to do. We spent, like, a bunch of pages showing you life in this forest and how precious it is, and then a bunch of pages showing you how these guys are just trying to make a buck, and this is the only way that they've found to do it, and then showing you her making the decision that one is more important than the other. Where do you stand on it?